Welcome everybody to Well That's Horrific, the podcast, episode 9. I'm Tom Cruz.
And I'm Mr.S.
And today we'll be talking about X.
Yes.
Very interesting movie. We actually just saw it today.
Yeah, not too long ago, actually. So it's kind of fresh in our head, you know?
Yeah, this is actually probably the first time we're reviewing a movie immediately after watching it. So it's an interesting take. But before we get to that, we can do some horror trivia.
Yay. Yeah.
So I'm guessing I'm doing you this week, right?
Pause. You could do me. I mean, if we're kind of, getting into this movie, X, yeah. I think those are the right choice of words.
Yeah, I think before I get into the movie, but let's go into horror trivia. I got a couple takes on this movie. The Exorcist was the first horror movie to be nominated for what in 1974?
An Oscar.
Yep. And Psycho was the first American film to show what? This is a weird one.
Nudity?
Nope. A toilet.
Bro.
That's a fun fact, man.
Bro, I'm thinking about shower scenes and you're talking about toilets.
Listen, that's part of the trivia. I actually want to fact check that one.
That's interesting.
Okay, this card you've already given to me. Okay. What 1978 horror comedy directed by Joe Dante is the parody of the movie Jaws?
19 what?
1978 horror comedy directed by Joe Dante is a parody of the movie Jaws.
1978 comedy? Horror comedy.
Yeah. Think of movies like Jaws. There's only a couple.
Deep Blue Sea.
No.
Sharknado.
1978.
1978. Give me a hint.
They've remade this movie.
It's not it. They made
it's not a shark.
Alligator? Crocodile?
No, the movie is Piranha.
Piranha. You could have just said, oh, it was released in 3D. They remade it in 3D. If you had said that, that would give me a hint. That would better hint.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you didn't see the 3D movie?
I did. It was Piranha 3D and then Piranha 3DD.
Yeah.
Piranha 3 double D. This 1982 film contained a scene where a young boy is dragged under his bed by his clown doll that comes to life. You should know this.
Poltergeist?
Yes.
The only reason why I know is because I was talking about it last week. Didn't I ask AJ about it? No, I didn't, actually.
No. Which Carrie 1976 star was also plays Linda in the original 1978 film?
Oh my God, I know her. I mean, I know her as an actress. I know her in Halloween, but I don't know her name. Hold up. Let me think about it. Totally. Hold up, because he says it all the time. Totally.
Yeah.
I should know this, man.
I'll give you a hint.
Give me a hint.
What do you wear to sleep at night?
Pajamas. PJ.
Yeah.
PJ something.
PJ Souls.
There you go. PJ Souls. There you go. Thank you. That was a good hint. The thing is, like, she's like one of those people that I know. I know where she's from, what movie she plays, and I just don't know her name for some reason. I can't get it out of my head.
All right. These are cards that okay. What iconic horror movie actor appeared in the opening sequence of the 2006 film Hatchet? If you've seen this movie,
I've seen Hatchet. I've seen Hatchet 1, 2, and 3 actually. What's the question again?
What iconic horror movie actor appeared in the opening sequence of the 2006 film Hatchet?
I know this. Danielle Harris was in the second one and third one.
No, this is in an open. This is only in an opening scene.
I know, but I'm just trying to think.
I can't really give you a hint for this one because any hint is going to be too huge.
I know this one.
He plays one of the most iconic slashers. That's the biggest hint I can give you.
Is a killer?
Yes. All right. Time's up. Robert Englund, as in Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. No, I know it. I should have known it. I've seen all three films. I actually enjoyed the Hatchet movies. They're very gory, very brutal.
Yeah, I like them. I
They
like them for
bring
what they
back
are.
they try hard bringing back that Asian dude a lot of times, and Danielle Harris. I love Danielle Harris in any movie she plays in, so she was good in it. And it's interesting. We should actually review that. That'd be dope. I'd be
I'm
down to
done.
watch it all over.
I'm
Yeah.
done. What is the name of the main character in Pitch Black whose surgically modified eyes allow him to see in the dark?
I don't know.
How the hell do you not know this one? Played by Vin Diesel, and there's two sequels, and they both have his name in the title.
Oh, that's that. I don't even think I saw these movies. This is the one with the motorcycles. No, right? This is a completely
Guys,
different movie.
This is terrible. I don't know how you don't know this. Okay, the first movie is Pitch Black. The second one is The Chronicles of Blank, and the third movie is called Blank. The third movie is literally just called his name. Still?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Wait, didn't the third movie just come out a couple years, like 5 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, and I think they might make another one. There's video games of this.
Yeah, yeah. I
as
thought.
well.
I think
It's,
I saw it. I was just like, oh, what a boring.
The Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, that's boring.
Riddick.
It's probably
I like
boring.
I like Riddick.
Nah, it's probably boring. Vin Diesel just stick to just cars and that's it. Maybe Pacifier. That's all.
All right, let's do one more.
Wow, you're on a roll. You're really trying to get me, huh?
No, I mean I swear these.
No, I love it.
Maybe
I love
it's
it. I'm not gonna lie.
maybe
Because
it's
I
because-
forget, man. You know how many times you probably see something, but you still just forget. So I'm down for it.
Next time I do this, I'm opening the other half of the deck because I'm still only using the first half, and I feel like a lot of these we were already done.
I
Either
still
you
have
sent me
it.
them.
The first half also. Yeah, I didn't
Oh.
even open the other one.
So it just so happens that the first half of yours and mine is the same.
Yeah.
So, okay, we did this one too. Cave. Yeah, I did this one too. How many of these have we done? Okay, who wrote and directed A Nightmare on Elm Street?
What's Craven?
Okay, how many murders are revealed at the end of the movie Scream?
2.
Yep. All right. I think you did pretty good this week.
I love it how they put those questions together. Is that those are like in the one card?
Yep. One card.
Yeah, I love it. For Wes Craven, I love how they did that.
They tend to put related trivia together for some reason.
Yeah.
So, are we ready to talk about this movie?
I'm ready. I'm
All right.
fresh. I'm ready to go.
X is a 2022 American erotic slasher film written and directed and produced and edited by Ty West. It stars Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega, Martin Henderson, Brittany Snow, your favorite actress, Owen Campbell,
I don't know my favorite.
and
but
Stephen Ure and Scott Mescudi.
yes. We want to underline many times erotic movie.
Well, before we get there, right? So let me just read the premise. A film crew arrives at a secluded farmhouse in Texas to shoot a pornographic film. The leering interest of their hosts, a reclusive elderly couple, turns violent as night falls. Now,
Right.
we saw the trailer to this movie when we went to see Scream, correct?
Correct. It's the only time I've seen the trailer. I've never seen anything else regarding this movie at all.
Correct. So, same. So same goes for me. I didn't ever I didn't see any other trailer. I only saw the one trailer that we saw in Scream, and I heard a lot of things about the movie. So I heard a lot of people talking about the movie when it was first announced, and it was just a trailer. And then when the movie was about to be released, like the last 2 weeks, I heard a lot of rumblings about this movie. So I was like, you know what? Let's watch it. And I was excited when I first saw it.
Right.
I guess what kind of threw me off, and this is, I guess, to my fault, is I didn't expect it to be this disturbing / erotic, even though it was, it's in the premise that they're filming a pornographic movie.
Right.
Am I wrong to say that? Did you expect this?
I don't think you're wrong to say that. I was anticipating, I was anticipating nudity. I was anticipating some, erotic behavior, but not to this, extent, not to this degree. And again, spoilers. I mean, as you all know, before we get into this, this movie, I don't even know how to say it. The porn is a big part of this movie. Like, even in terms of like the reason behind the whole movie, the reason behind killings per se, and and
That's what
motives.
threw me off. That's
That
the
I
entire
know.
motive of the movie is that, and I thought it was
Yeah,
more so gonna. I thought the pornographic film thing was just gonna be okay. That's what they're trying to do, and then
yeah,
something is gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna relate to the entire plot of the movie,
right.
which it pretty much is. The whole movie is about that, pretty
Yeah,
much.
the whole thing. I think that's what this movie attempts. Attempts to become a 1970s slasher film, but with a twist. Something new added to it to try to kind of make it its own thing. In horror movies, we do see a lot of nudity and I guess sex scenes and stuff like that. But this one is, I think, even the cameraman in the film, he kind of his goal, like he said, he goes, I'm not just trying to have like porn out there. I'm trying to have a cinematic movie.
Movie, yeah.
You
So
know?
there's a big thing about this movie where the director, he's in literally half of the movie, but
Yeah.
his commentary is literally not only about the movie that he's filming, but the movie that he's in, right? So he mentions how you can't change a movie halfway in, and I feel like this movie does have a change. The change of this movie is literally it comes to that one scene where Jenna Ortega's character decides to be in the movie,
Right.
and yes, there was you kind of knew where it was going, but then that's where the movie that's where everything starts, right?
Yeah.
So not to fast forward, right? But the movie starts, and my first take was like, okay, they're doing the whole 4:3 aspect ratio, and they're trying to make you feel that 70s vibe, right? So that's the first thing I noticed is the opening shot of this movie was the farmhouse, right?
Right.
The house, the farm, and it was cut in a 4:3 aspect ratio,
Right.
from inside the farm, and then
Right.
it pans out and goes widescreen,
Yeah.
almost like a TV, and that's a reoccurring thing throughout the movie as well, because there are some shots of the TV, and whenever they're filming the porn, it's in 4:3 aspect ratio. It's
Right.
or it's a square, right? So there the first thing that I noticed. There was a lot of open land, a lot of wide shots, and then you said it. You hit it the nail perfectly. You said very Texas Chainsaw vibes.
Oh, completely from the get go. From the get go. Like you said, like it takes place in the South in Texas. That whole land thing and like that. Even the house. Like for me, the house. Because like the movie begins with the sheriff coming into a house and there's like obviously like dead bodies around and like they're inside trying to investigate and see what happened. And like even the house, like when they walk in, it just looks like it's symmetric to like the first, to
It
the
does.
Texas Chainsaw House. I'm
It
just like,
does.
oh come on, like which is fine. Like again, I don't mind it if they like do it well. You mentioned like the whole 4:3 aspect, and I feel like that movie does that a lot. Like even with their transitions, I kind of like the transitions. It's not
There was a
modern.
one. There was a early transition that it just cuts to a rooster, like a zoom in of a rooster's head, and I was just
Yeah,
like, "What the heck?"
yeah,
It was like
but
one of the first cuts was just like, and then it's like zoomed in on a rooster.
yeah, I kind of like it because like it's not modern. It's not what you see today. Like it was like how do they do? They did it a lot where it's like back forth, back forth, back forth, and then
Oh yeah,
forth. You know?
yeah. The editing. So so
Yeah.
when they would like cut scenes almost like they were taking place at the same time, and then move
Right.
forward and go
Right.
back. The editing was all over. Well, it was like kind of all over the place, but like it made sense.
Right.
But
right.
this is one of the things that the director mentions. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna edit it different. It doesn't have. He mentions early on. He's like, I don't have to film the movie in order because I can edit it and cut it to my liking."
Right.
And
right.
he wanted to make it more artistic and make it more cinema, even though it was pornography that they were filming.
Yeah.
So I think
I felt
it
like
was a play
went.
on that.
Yeah, I felt like it went with the movie, the vibe that the movie
It
was
does.
trying to give.
It does. The setting and everything and the atmosphere of the movie, definitely.
Right. So, I guess getting into it a little bit more, the characters and stuff, the whole, I want to say half hour to an hour of the movie, I felt like it was dragged a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I do
The first
think
half.
the first half of the movie, and introducing their characters, introducing their goal and how like they're trying to get this guy's, I don't even know what you call it, like the barn. Like they're trying to stay there and record their movie without them knowing, so they can save money, also become famous because they're tired of the outdated traditions and their family and all that stuff.
So that's another thing. This movie is very woke just for that. Like that is something that a lot of people probably relate to. Just
Oh yeah,
just that one scene that they had where the main actress, Maxine, when she's talking to Jenna Ortega's character, I forgot her name, but when she's talking to her
Lorraine or something like
character,
that.
yeah, when she's
Lorraine.
talking to Lorraine, and she basically expresses like, you can't go by these outdated views and everything. And when she has that conversation in the couch, it was a very woke moment, and that's also like kind of the turning point.
I get that conversation. I get her point of view, but homie, like you doing like you doing porn. Like what did Jenna Ortega say? She said, "Aren't you guys in love?" He was like, "Yeah, but you're letting her sleep with somebody else." And he was like, "Yeah, it's just like television or something like that. Not television, but
Like acting,
acting. Like,
yeah.
like, come on, bro. That's why
I
the
know.
whole cameraman was so upset. He was not upset. He was heartbroken that
No, he
his
was heartbroken.
girlfriend was like, "Yo, I want to be in the movie." Then it's like insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
no, I definitely get that perspective, but I also get I get Maxine's perspective, or like, or everybody else where they're saying like, sex doesn't necessarily have to mean love. That's kind of what they're trying to say.
Right,
And
right,
and he
right.
mentions it. Somebody mentions it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but then I don't know. There's so much going on, and not only in that scene, but like, remember early on she was like she was performing at a burlesque show. Right? You see that as it pans out and they're leaving.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie starts, or at least after the flashback or after
Right.
the flash forward. She, the whole thing is they keep on telling her she's special, like you got it,
Yeah.
and that's the like she has something, she has it, and that's what they refer to as the X factor, which is why this movie's called X.
X. Yeah.
So yeah, you continue from there. I'll let you continue, but that's the whole thing, is that she has something and she thinks she's gonna be big.
Right.
She
No,
has that.
she they're not even calling it Hollywood. There's something better. I forgot what's that sentence that she keeps repeating to herself. This is not not your something about her life. I forgot what it was, but basically saying that this is her life to live. Like no one's gonna control it, and she's gonna do whatever she wants. And whatever. You have these group of people again who are trying to make this cinematic porno. Porno. I'm
Porno.
sorry. I'm trying to make it sound so elegant, so I'm trying to justify it, but no, there's nothing to it. They're trying to make this porno, and the guy that's letting them stay at their place is like he has a wife, right? Now she's kind of creeping along throughout the whole, first half of the movie. She's kind of like following them, like behind the woods and in the window and all that stuff,
Watching
and
them have sex and everything.
watching them have sex, and like it looks like she's not admiring it, but she's comparing it to herself, because there's that one scene where the main I'm gonna call her final girl Maxine. She goes into the house and she sees the old lady and she's like, oh, like this was me. Like she shows her pictures of her and like how she looked and how beautiful she was.
And I mentioned you this off screen, or off the video, but when I saw those pictures, I realized that she looks like those pictures are of Maxine, or of the actress that plays Maxine. So it looks like a younger Maxine. I
Right.
went to look it up, and it turns out she plays the old lady as well. When you
Right.
take that into account, that's an interesting parallel, especially
I
when
did
those
not
scenes together.
know that. I did not know that. And so essentially like the whole thing is that this old lady sees herself when she was young in this girl, and she kind of wants to relive it again. She wants to be young, she wants to like have sex, and she wants to feel all these emotions, and but she's
She
just
wants
not
to feel
obvious.
special.
Yeah, she wants to feel special, and I think this is where the movie threw me off, because I wasn't like, when I saw the trailer, I'm just thinking this lady's just sick in the head, not that she's not here, but I just meant like she had no motive, like she's just a creep who wants to like kill and stalk and all that stuff, but she actually is getting enticed by it. And even her husband said like, why are you guys doing this to my wife, like you guys are enticing her and making her feel this way, and and he can't perform because he's afraid his heart won't last, and it's a whole mess. It's honestly a whole mess.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely not the take that I saw coming from the
no,
trailers.
not at all.
I
Not at
thought
all.
I thought something entirely. Like, there's no hints of like magic or demons or anything like that. But for some reason, I thought it was gonna be something in that realm.
Yeah, something
Because when I
something
see an old lady,
paranormal.
I immediately think paranormal or something. But
Yeah.
once, like, not to like jump to the chase here, but once this old lady starts killing people, I'm like, really? This is what it is? Like, I did not expect it to just be as simple as, okay, just old people killing people.
Yeah, nah, it's crazy. Like this movie. I think I kind of said it to you. I like this movie, but I also kind of don't. One thing I do like about the movie is the way it was edited and shot. And there's a scene where the main girl, she's Maxine, she's in the main house having lemonade with this old lady, but at the same time, back at the barn, I'm gonna call it a barn or whatever the hell you want to call that, a shed or whatever. They're shooting they're filming their porn, but their story lines up with what's actually happening at the moment in the house.
There's
right?
a parallel between them sitting having a conversation and then the porn taking place at the same time.
Exactly. Like they're both having lemonade in the movie, and she's like, like daddy's gonna be afraid, like daddy's gonna be pissed at me. And then in the other house, the main house, she's like drinking her lemonade, and the girl, like, the truck pulls up, of her husband, and then she goes, "It's gonna be our secret," because I love the way they did that. I love the way they show, like, yo, you got to get out that house now,
No, I love the, like, I'm thinking, like, what would I have done, right? I wouldn't have wanted to drink the lemonade, but I love that the first thing she did was, like, I'm chugging this shit because I need to leave. She literally chugged it. She's like, oh, I should get going.
Yeah.
And then that's when the old lady is, like, confessing to her, like, she used to, be special too, when she's showing her pictures, and then she touches her inappropriately. And that's when she says, "What are you doing?" And she says, "Shh, it'll be our secret."
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of weird vibes going on. Where are we now?
Afterwards, after she, like, kind of gets out of the house, she kind of goes back and she shoots her scene. With at the farm, they call it, because their whole porno is called The Farmer's Daughter. And she finishes her scene. They wrap it up. It's nighttime, and that's pretty much the first half. Introducing the characters, what they're here for, what's happening, who's the old lady, creeping around, and boom, that's it.
Like I said, to me, the second half begins with after she shoots her scene, when they're having that conversation together, all together, and having talking about what they filmed, what's going on, the kind of social commentary, and then. What's his name? Kid Cudi sings his song, and as soon as it ends, she says, "I want to be in the movie," and then you have that, like, everybody's expression, and then that happens, which is creepy, right? It's just like, I feel for the director, definitely feel for the director,
bro.
Like,
his girl who was helping him out record this stuff, all of a sudden has a mind, like a switch, like, yo, I want to be in this movie. And he's heartbroken.
And she just films it.
Yeah,
and she just films it from one moment to another.
Yeah,
and they cut, right. They don't really show the scene, but they cut to her in bed and everybody's sleeping, and he's in the bathtub crying.
Yeah.
Or he's in the shower crying, and then he goes down and he's just laying, sitting in the bathtub crying. Yeah. I mean, that would be me.
He was devastated. Like, and then this is where the movie picks up. This is where, like, I guess the climax. This is where all the things are happening at once.
This is where I feel like the switch is hit, right? We talk about that 50% mark, because then he tries to escape, and then the old lady ends up being in front of the truck, or in front of his van. He gets out to just see what's going on with her. She tries to kind of seduce him.
She goes on to him. She tries to make a move. She's trying to see if she gets some action from him. But
when he doesn't,
he respectfully declines.
And she stabs him in the neck with a switchblade.
Yeah, and this is where, like, I kind of liked it too. Like, she, like, not only did she stab him, she takes it out afterwards, and she keeps going at it. Boom, 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 stab.
There was like a weird 2 minutes here where, like, after she cut him into little pieces, she stands up and starts dancing.
Yeah, I thought because she was thinking about the picture in the house.
Yeah,
I think her pose was like that. So I think it kind of showed. Like she was dancing. But I also kind of like how the blood smeared on the headlights of the van, and it kind of made the whole, like, picture like a little red. It was dope. It was a nice scene. It was like finally the horror element in this movie, and it just kind of, it's like a snowball effect from here. Lorraine wakes up. This is what I don't understand.
No, wait. That's not it. Is the next thing that happens is not Lorraine waking up, is it?
What happens after that?
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah. Lorraine does wake up. She's looking for him.
Yeah.
And then the executive producer, I don't know his name.
Wayne
tries to help her.
Wayne. Yeah. He first. Okay. I just want to go back to this. This is what I don't understand. You just, I know it's an explicit podcast, so I'm gonna try to still like not be as vulgar as I possibly can, but you just fucked a dude in front of your man that did not want you to do this in the first place, and you went against him. Everybody was going against him, and you sided with them. You did the deed, and at the end, you're waking up saying, "I'm concerned. I'm concerned about him if he'll break up with me." What is wrong with you? Like, what? Get the hell out of here with that.
That was pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy.
Yo, my God.
And then she goes out looking for him.
Yeah.
She gets the director to go help her.
Yeah.
He goes into the farmhouse, and that's when he steps on a nail, hurts his foot, and then we saw like this was like a straight up '80s kill that you could see coming from a mile away.
Yeah, very predictable, very.
So there's like these holes in the farmhouse, and you can see somebody walk past them, because you can see the shadow.
Right.
And he, of course, decides to put his eyes to these holes to kind of to see what's on the other side. Which, if you've seen any movie, you know you don't put your eye to anything. You just don't do that. Like, I've seen Scream.
Big no-no.
So many movies do this. And then Pinchfork to the face.
Brutal.
Yep. Old lady got some Friday the 13th Part 2 vibes.
Yeah.
She goes back around, stabs him again a couple times just to make sure he was dead, and then covers him up with hay.
Like he's dirt.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You know what's crazy about this movie? They make the old lady seem like she's delusional in the beginning, right? But then as the movie goes on, I feel like she's very aware. She's very aware of what she's doing, what she wants, how she wants to kill them. Yeah, like I'm like, what? Like that to me was another switch up. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take that.
Also, we're forgetting a scene that I really liked, which is the whole crocodile scene. Like when you first see the crocodile,
oh yeah, that was good.
She just has to go swimming in the lake, and then they pan out. There's a lot of wide shots in this movie. They do another wide shot of her swimming, like upside, laying down in the lake, and the crocodile on one side, kind of swimming towards her, and she decides to go back, and then she just by like a few seconds avoids the crocodile.
Unbeknownst to her, she's going back. This crocodile is right behind her, and it's a great foreshadow. You know, obviously because we know what happens. This movie does a lot of foreshadowing. Even the opening scene itself was a foreshadow. But yeah. So this guy Wayne, executive producer, gets fucked up, and then the girl Lorraine goes into that house with the guy, the creepy old man. And she's like, oh, I gotta find my boyfriend. He goes, I gotta find my wife. Come get this flashlight in the basement. She goes in the basement, which is this movie is filled with bad decision making. And she goes into the basement, pitch dark, and she grabs a flashlight, tries to go back upstairs, and what happens? He locked her in. She goes back downstairs, turns on the light, which she should have done in the first place, and she sees what was foreshadowed in the beginning. There's a guy hanging there, pretty much naked, and what does it imply?
He has his pants down.
What does it imply?
I don't know. I'm not saying it. Guys,
say it. Come on, it's your podcast.
I'm not saying anything.
The old lady was having her fun with this guy. Let's put it that way. So
the old lady basically got this guy who we later find his car in the lake. But basically, she got this guy and she strung him up on the wall and put his pants down, and then had a blast. We don't know what she did, but this is just how we find them.
Right.
And then she sees this. She, starts panicking, and then we cut. Right. We actually leave her in the basement here for a little bit. And we have the old man. What is he? He's still looking for his wife.
He's still looking for her, and then we have Kid Cudi. Wake up. He hears a little creak. And he's naked, and he goes into I don't know, I gotta mention that. He
spent majority of this movie naked.
Yeah, I mean, they all pretty much did. He goes into the fridge, drinks some milk. Here's the old guy outside. He's like, yo, what's going on? He's like, I'm trying to find my wife. He goes, yo, I was in the Marines.
Opens the door butt naked.
Yeah, he opens the door butt naked. He's schlong hanging out. He's like, yo, what's going on? He goes, I'm trying to find my wife. And he's like, yo, I'm a Marine. I can help you. I cover this perimeter, blah, blah. He goes, let me go put on some clothes on. So yeah, they go do that, but the noise that Kid Cudi wakes up to is obviously the lady inside. This scene that happens right now is so cringe and so dragged. Like I get the whole scene, But basically, the old lady is in the room where the main lady is, Maxine, and she's like looking at her sleeping, and she kind of uncovers her, and she sees her kind of just on her with her underwear, and she's like admiring her, and then she starts taking off her clothes, and she lays next to her and kind of outlines her body with her hands, and like obviously she's thinking of herself and how beautiful she used to be and all that stuff, but it was dragged, man. I feel like a lot there were cuts, and then they came back to it. I'm like, what the fuck? I was about to say that
it cuts and then it comes back immediately. I thought it was gonna cut like, and then something was gonna happen immediately, right. But it cuts back, and then it's like she's still there. She's just like sniffing her head and going. I think it does like 2 or 3 cuts back to that scene before eventually Maxine wakes up.
Right.
And yells. But in the meantime, Kid Cudi is still in the swamp area looking for the old lady.
Right.
And he finds the car in the swamp, and he's sus, but he still goes back to talk to the old man. He sees the flashlight in the lake. He goes and grabs the flashlight, and as he comes out of the swamp, bumps into the old man. And what is it that he tells him?
The old man says something about. I think that's what he explains it to him. Like, I'm tired of you people coming here enticing my wife,
enticing them. Yeah.
And Kid Cudi's like, all right, like I don't know what that means, but sure. And then he just clocks his shotgun, points at his chest, and kills him. Kid Cudi's gone.
Kid Cudi gone. At this point, who do we have left? We have
main girl and Brittany Snow, and Lorraine Ortega.
Yes. So Brittany Snow, Jenna Ortega, and Maxine.
By the way, I just want to take a break here if you don't mind. Brittany Snow was one of my favorites growing up. I loved her in The Pacifier. I loved her in Prom Night. My God, my childhood was ruined, and with this movie. Yo, she's full on naked. She gets her shit handed to her, and like it's just insane. She's an amazing actress. I mean, not pornography wise. I just mean in general, because she plays this lady who's like all Hollywood, in her head, and like
it is weird to kind of see her playing this role.
Oh my God, I'm like, what is?
I know her from Pitch Perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know if I know
Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect too. And I'm like, yo, I gotta like cover my eyes here. What's going on? But insane.
She's in Prom Night.
Prom Night.
We know her from that horror movie, but besides
she's also in Would
John
You Rather?
John Tucker Must Die.
John Tucker Must Die. Would You Rather? She's in a lot of movies that I appreciated. I liked her. I liked seeing her in these movies, but this one I was just like, damn.
I remember I never saw Would You Rather. That's one of the ones that I gotta watch.
No, we gotta see that movie. I forgot. That's right. You didn't see it. You have to see that movie. It's pretty good. But yeah,
it is weird seeing her in this.
Yeah, OD. Oh my God. I wasn't prepared for this. I'm not gonna lie, but she wakes up and she's walking out of her room. She sees. Oh no, I'm sorry. The main girl wakes up.
Maxine wakes up, yells, wakes her up.
Yes, and then Brittany Snow gets up.
Yeah. Brittany Snow wakes up and sees the old lady naked running out of the cabin.
Right.
Maxine tells her like she was in the bed with me, and then she finds the old lady by the lake. And she tries to help her and say like, "Hey, are you okay?" Because she thinks the old lady's just, in her head or something. She's not completely there. She even tries to cover her up, because she's naked. And then what is it she tells her? She tells her like, "Oh, you don't deserve this."
Bro, she slaps her. She slaps her.
Yeah.
She slaps her. She goes, "You don't deserve all of it. Who do you think you are?" Something like that. Like that was like confusing to me. I'm like, yo, she knows what she's doing. Then that's where I was like, oh, it clicked. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, you don't deserve any of this," and blah blah, and she calls her a whore.
Yeah, Brittany Snow tells her like, "Move out of the way, please." She's like, she's right about to call her a bitch, and then she gets pushed into the lake. And then, of course, back to what we saw earlier. Crocodile comes and rip.
Yeah. There
goes your Brittany Snow.
There's my Brittany Snow. She's gone. Getting eaten by a crocodile, and like it's just mad funny. Like she's like the camera pans up, you looking at the old lady, she just goes, "Bitch." Like,
yeah.
What? Yo.
And then the old man actually meets up with the old lady just right there. And then we have what is probably the most disturbing shot in a movie.
I want you to explain it, like word for word, what happens.
I'm not explaining this word for word.
Bro, why are you letting me do all the dirty work?
I'll say something. Look, so here's what I'll say. I've seen a lot of movies. and I've seen a lot of disturbing movies.
Right.
But as of recently, this is the most disturbing scene I've seen in a while. So they meet up at the lake, right? They
Husband
go
and
back
wife.
into husband and wife, the elderly couple. They go back into the house where everybody was. They're looking for Maxine, and they're discussing, who they've got so far. Basically, they say like, "Oh, old man is like, oh, I got one in the house. I shot the other one." And they're like, "Oh, there's only 2 of them left, right?" At this point,
Right.
we have Jenna Ortega's character and we have Maxine. They're laying down in the bed, and she starts talking about, if she, is she special, or what is it? What is it that he says? Like,
Well,
or
before
that
we
she
get
used to
there,
be-
I think he asks her at the lake, "Was that her?" or something like that.
Oh yeah, was that her? Yes.
Was that
yes.
her? And then she's like, "No, just some blonde something." She says, and then they go back.
She says, "I don't like blondes."
I don't like blondes. Yeah. And then they go back to the spot where everybody was sleeping at, looking for Maxine, and she's like under the bed, but both of them are on the bed sitting down talking, and the old lady's just like.
I'm also forgetting that we're missing a scene here, because there's a scene prior where we go back to Jenna Ortega's character. She grabs an axe and tries to escape, and
let's talk about that scene like it never happened. That dumbass scene.
She's an idiot. She makes the hole in the wrong side of the door and takes her sweet time. The guy comes and basically cuts some of her fingers off, or cuts her, and then she ends up going right back into it.
Not funny. Not funny.
And what's to stop her from escaping afterwards?
What happened?
What's to stop her from escaping afterwards?
For real, that's what I'm saying. Why can't she just go back and just unlock it again with the other hand? I don't know.
Okay, whatever. So now we're going back to the elderly couple being on the bed. She's basically saying, "Am I special? Tell me I'm special. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me you still want me." and he's like, "Yes, you've always been special since the moment we've met." And she's basically saying like, "Let's do it." And he's still scared. He goes back to saying like, "I don't know if my heart can take it," which the callback to this later is hilarious.
I just want to point out that I feel bad for the guy. Like he's calling his wife beautiful. "You're always beautiful to me," and like, "I can't give you what you want." It's not like he doesn't love her. If that helps in any way. But yeah,
still the most disturbing scene to watch.
Oh my
God. He's like, "Fuck it, let's do it," and we watch elderly couple have sex on this bed, and you actually see like
so for all you weirdos out there that like old, this is a movie for you.
Listen, why are you calling people weirdos? People have taste, Yeah,
I know. That was
disturbing.
That was disturbing. Oh, they're doing it while Maxine is right under their bed.
Under the bed, and all you see is this old man's butt, and it's so disturbing. And then it goes on for far too long.
Yeah, that's mad funny.
Couldn't have. I wouldn't have been so mad if they, just it started and they cut, but they keep it there for a good 2 minutes. She eventually crawls out, beats up with Jenna Ortega, and helps her out.
Right.
And then this is fucking hilarious because, of course, Jenna Ortega is having a panic attack and she got her fingers cut. She's blaming her. She's saying, "It's your fault. I should have never came here." Meanwhile, Maxine is trying to keep her composure and find a way to escape.
Right.
Jenna Ortega's character runs out and gets shotgun to the face. I guess
It was a dope shot. It was predictable, but still a dope shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I just expected more from Jenna Ortega's character.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think you were upset. I mean,
Jenna Ortega was my Britney Snow.
Yeah, I guess more was her having her little sex scene, but that's I don't know.
Yeah, she kind of deserved it at that point.
Yeah, she deserved it at that point. After that, I was like, "Oh, how dare you!" The betrayal, the betrayal, and then after she gets shot,
this is kind of the most underwhelming part of the movie to me. And I'll say this.
Agreed.
Right?
I can see why you say that. Agreed.
So we have Jenna Ortega getting shot in the face. Maxine is in the house hiding. The elderly couple decides to drag Jenna Ortega's body in. He says it so that they can say they can say she was in the property and it was self-defense or whatever. Not that anybody's gonna come, and that's what the old lady.
That's what she said. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
But then Maxine had grabbed the gun that the guy had from the glove compartment of the car.
Right.
But she's hiding, and the guy just has a heart attack. He has a heart attack, which is fine. I was okay with him having a
Well,
heart attack.
he has a heart attack because he thought Ortega's character was dead, right? Like he's dragging her, and she just goes. She like kind of like gulps. She's like,
Yeah.
and then he's like, and then he died. That's it.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So, I don't know. So, this could have been a good opportunity for suspense with her being in the house, but I also get it because it's also like you already gave her a weapon, so now it's like she has an advantage, even though they also have a shotgun.
Right.
And I get the idea of it being different. We were already an hour and a half into the movie, but I feel like more could have been done because I feel like it doesn't really have like the conclusion happens so fast.
I agree.
He has a heart attack. She confronts the old lady. The gun has no bullets. The old lady goes to grab a shotgun, and this is probably the funniest part of the entire movie. She goes to shoot Maxine. Maxine ducks, and the old lady goes flying back into the Porsche.
Hilarious.
And breaks her hip.
Absolutely hilarious scene, and I think my brother was dying too.
Yeah, but this is the end of the movie. Like that's it. There's not
That's
really
it.
much more. There's a couple like minutes afterwards, but this is the big finale of the movie.
Literally,
And I just thought they could have done. I thought they could have done more. Let's say you keep it the same.
Bro,
At least have the old man wake up.
I was waiting for some type of battle. I was waiting for some type of like creepiness, like the beginning, where like she shoots and obviously the gun is not loaded, and like she tries to hide, and like she's running around the house. Or like I was expecting something. I was like, something's going to happen right now. I can feel it.
Like
I felt it, and nothing happened. That was it. That was
That's
the
what I'm
movie.
saying. It felt like there was I don't want to say missing third act, because we were already in the third act, but it felt like some of this was missing. Like there was a part of this movie that was cut, or maybe they just decided to like rewrite that ending. I don't know. It just felt like at the very end something more was supposed to happen.
Right.
And I like the idea of him having a heart attack because he kept on mentioning it. Because they played up to it very well.
Right.
However, like maybe have him wake up. Maybe he I don't know something.
Give us something.
Just
anything. Give me something.
Him just having a heart attack and then the old lady just missing a shot and then breaking her hip. Yeah. That's it. That's the end of the movie. So basically, what happens after that is Maxine gets into the truck. She had grabbed the keys. She basically tells curses out the old lady. Basically says like the old lady's like, "Oh, you don't deserve this," blah blah blah, and she runs her over. She goes reverse, runs her and reverses on her, and then drives away. Then there's a reveal that this I don't even know what you would call this, with the person that we kept on seeing on TV. I don't know. What would you describe him as?
IMDb listed as a televisionist, or what? I have no idea. This guy who's been preaching. Let's say he's like a preacher. I don't know. He's been preaching the whole movie. Like
on the TV,
on the TV, the gas station they stop by. He's on the TV and he's preaching to the Lord and like all the all this stuff. And go ahead, I'll let you tell him.
Yeah, basically the big review is, and they kind of mentioned this earlier because they mentioned that the executive producer left his wife to be with this girl, who left with him, right? And the review at the end is basically this girl was the daughter of this preacher, who was
great
big
twist by the way. Great twist.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, and not to like say it's true, but that actually.
Things happen like that,
That's happened a lot. Where it's like, the more strict your parents are, you tend to like gravitate,
rebel. You rebel against them, and you try to do your own thing.
Yeah. So her father being a preacher made sense, and that's why she escaped and everything. I don't know if that was the X factor, but yeah. But then that's pretty much it. That's the ending of this very interesting, disturbing movie.
This movie. I think my brother asked me. He was like, "Do you think this is better than Texas Chainsaw?" And instantly, I said yes. Instantly, I guess because it's also fresh. I just saw it, but
I think it's better than Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah,
I think it's a better film. It's a better movie. Than
but that's exactly what it is. So this movie. Here's one thing. I'm not hating on this movie, despite everything that we just said. I still kind of enjoyed it. Not for the pornography. I just mean the story itself. There was a story there.
It was a good story. And I think I told you this. I think you mentioned that you felt like you liked it, but you didn't like it. And I said, I think that happens when you watch a disturbing movie.
Right.
A disturbing movie that you enjoyed because it was it could be a good movie, but because it was disturbing, it makes you kind of gravitate against it. So it's like, did I
Agreed.
like it? It was just
Yeah, it's
hard
very
to watch.
paradoxical, and like one thing that I did enjoy about this movie is like the vibe. I did like the 70s feel. I did like the
Yeah,
open. I did like the Texas Chainsaw feel. I do like the cast. Do you know why? Because Brittany Snow has been in a horror movie, multiple. Ortega's been in a horror movie. The guy who plays Wayne, he's played in The Strangers. These people have experience, and like their characters are funny. Funny and
yeah.
believable. And
All the characters are written really well.
yeah, really well. And the elements, even though it is predictable and the foreshadowing, but it still kind of went well. The creepiness, the alligator scene, the whole
There was more done well than bad.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Those a lot of things were done right. Minus like that ending, like I said, though, it felt like something was missing there.
Yeah,
I feel like if it had if it had those extra 10 minutes that I'm talking about,
yeah.
I think I would have liked it more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like my rating as of right now is like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, my same 6.5, 7. Yeah, I would give it
I
that.
would I would have given it more if it had those extra 10 minutes, even though it was disturbing.
I
Because
think
it was disturbing, but if it had something more in the final act, I would have rated it higher.
I think the twist at the end, I felt like they try to make up for that, if that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't, but like I feel like like they threw that in
The
our
whole picture
face.
thing?
Yeah, they threw that in our face like, this is why we did that, And I'm just like, no, it doesn't really work.
That's not enough.
No,
Yeah.
it's not enough. It didn't work. No, the ending, you're right. There should have been a lot more. I'm telling you, I prepared myself for something. I did, and I got nothing. And that's very underwhelming, like you said. And I don't know. I do like the whole 24 hours earlier thing. So now I know what to expect. I know that's gonna happen within 24 hours.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that you have like an expectation, like, okay, this is all taking place in one day. But I, for some reason, like I'll look this up at a different time. But I tend to, like, I've found myself that I tend to not like movies that take place in one day.
What?
I don't know if it's because those movies tend to be rushed. But
Nah.
usually
You ever seen
when a
Training
movie
Day?
I have seen Training Day.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscars.
No, of course. But there's a lot of maybe horror movies. I don't know.
Horror
I'm
movies,
thinking
alright.
like The Strangers. The Strangers takes place in one day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
But there are a lot of movies, and that's just one example that I can think of off the top of my head. But there are a lot of movies that usually, when they take place in one day, are like they're kind of trying to rush through the movie.
It's funny you say that. I kind of feel like when I see movies happen in one day, I'm like,
They have to slow it down.
yeah, but also I also feel like it's not dragged. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like, okay, great. I know that it's gonna happen now. I know that something's going to happen pretty soon or whatever. I guess. I guess it's whatever movie we're watching and how they do it. So I see what you're saying. You don't want it to be rushed. I got it.
Yeah, in my experience, it almost feels like they're trying to cram so much in one day that it feels rushed.
Right.
And I say that because, like, if the movie's taking place in 24 hours and you need an entire movie to occur, it ends up being the longest day ever.
Right. Right.
It ends up being like morning is like half of the movie, and then evening is like 2 minutes of the movie, and then night is the rest of the movie. It's like,
Right.
Usually, like it feels crammed, it feels rushed. But again, that's just been my experience. I can think of some examples maybe later on that I'll mention, but if we come back to this, but that's just one thing. But this doesn't fit that criteria.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I feel like it was structured pretty well for a horror movie, a slasher horror movie. I want to say slasher. I thought the one by one element was pretty dope. That's something we've seen in horror movies back then, like Texas Chainsaw, Halloween, or Friday the 13th. And I thought like certain things they did well, and also it was also pretty funny. I know it's supposed to be scary, but also pretty funny. With the old lady, so I was like, that's it. I good movie. A24. A24 has great films. Hereditary being their biggest one, I think.
Wait, so that's another thing that I was gonna mention. I was like, it did have that sort of Hereditary Midsummer vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not the same director, but I don't know if maybe it was written by somebody of the same team. I don't think so because the director wrote this as well.
Yeah.
What is it with like A24 and elderly nudity?
I don't know, man. I
If
think
you've seen Hereditary, you know what I'm
I,
talking
I
about.
think I think of course, yeah, absolutely. I think you mentioned it afterwards. Like, who gives this the green light? Like, who says, yeah, this is a go? You know, and it got me thinking, like, yo, for real, like, who sat there and is like, yo, this movie, yo, we got nudity, we got old people fucking, like, let's do this. This is a go. It's like, what? Like, what's wrong with you, you sick
Yeah,
pervert?
yeah. That I don't know. You know, in just to go back to the topic that we were talking for 1 second, I went ahead and just googled like movies that take place in 24 hours, and they're making me eat my words instantly. Like so many good movies here. Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
But-
Reservoir
yeah,
Dogs.
but I thought you said horror
Uh,
specifically.
I know. I couldn't find one that just said
What's that?
horror.
What's that movie with the Netflix movie with Thor that I saw that was really good actually. He has to save that kid. That takes place within 24
Yes,
hours. That was a good movie.
it does it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what
Yeah.
movie you're talking about. Okay. On to some other horror news.
Yes.
So this one I wanted to mention because I don't know if you've heard of this game, but this actually was announced today,
Until Dawn.
published 11 hours ago. Yes.
Yes, bro.
So,
I'm excited. Okay, go ahead.
So
I'll let you go,
Until Dawn was probably my first platinum trophy for PlayStation.
bro.
I played the game and I got every sort of ending. And this is what I was kind of streaming this a couple weeks back, because the same studio that made Until Dawn, they've been making an anthology series. And
Yes.
you can get all their games pretty much everywhere. They're on Steam, they're on PlayStation, and Xbox.
Besides Until Dawn.
Yeah, besides Until Dawn. Until Dawn is the only exclusive.
Right.
They're making another game, and it has a whole bunch of high profile actors. We got my guy, what's his name from Scream?
Dewey, we got David Arquette, baby.
David Arquette. There you go.
Yes, sir. That's
I
gonna be
think
dope.
Brenda Song is in this as well. if I'm
We
not
got
mistaken.
that old lady from Insidious in there.
Yes.
Yo, it's dope. It's gonna be dope. Until Dawn, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't,
no, it's called this new one is called The Quarry.
I know. I'm just saying, Until Dawn. If you haven't played that game, please play it. It's such a horrific. It's like a movie, and every single decision, they call it the butterfly effect, right? Every single decision you make matters, and it's like it's a great mystery. It's great horror. It's great. I think you'll love it. You'll be into it. Play with somebody. Like what
Yeah.
my brother
I like
does
playing
is
it.
he picks a character for each of his like cousins, and like they all make decisions for that character. It's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, that I like playing it with my girlfriend for that same reason. So I'll let her make the decisions and then blame her for people dying. But David Arquette's in this. Skyler, what's his name? He's in a couple other the young kid from a lot of TV shows and movies. Who else? The kid from the Pikachu movie, Detective Pikachu, the old lady from Insidious, the evil robot from Alien, Lance Henriksen.
No way. I don't know that.
We just had the trivia about him last week. He's
Nice.
been in an Alien movie and
Nice,
a Predator
nice.
movie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's a lot of big actors in this. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna get this. But
Absolutely.
I actually want to do a run through of all the games that they've been making in the meantime, because this is their next big game, and it's only big because they have all these high profile actors. But they've been making games like this for a while now.
They
made
make
like
great
3 or
games.
4.
Yeah, they make great games.
Yeah, they made 3 or 4. They all have the same premise of like you make the decision, but it's just the other games don't have actors. That's the only thing.
Right.
But if I might stream those on Twitch because I have them all.
Yeah, do it, man.
Besides that, we also have Netflix is doing a live action Resident Evil again.
Oh boy, I don't know. You would know more about that.
So they just remade the movie, and I didn't watch it because it looks really bad. Now apparently they're making a TV show out of it, but it's set
That
in the
makes
year
sense.
2036.
All right, interesting.
I'm not excited about this, man. To be honest, it feels like they've been milking this franchise for a while. I just wish they
It's probably a
stuck
reason.
to a storyline.
It's probably a reason why.
I don't know, man.
I wanted to mention something. I want to piggyback off of David Arquette and kind of tie it to Scream 6. You know, Gail Weathers, author of the Woodsboro Murders, is set to be in Scream 6. She hasn't even read the script. She just said, I'll do it. And she's going to be in it. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means she's going to die in the beginning. I don't know if that means that she's going to report something because she's like, a reporter. But either way, I am happy to see original characters in movies like that. I'm interested to see if she's back. Will Nev Campbell be playing her role? You know, so
I think they said there's a first draft of the script done. I don't know if she's seen it, but there's definitely a first draft of the film.
Oh, really?
And I know Nev Campbell wants to like read it first, or not. Maybe not
Please,
that
Nev
first draft,
Campbell.
but
Please come
to
back.
she wants to basically, take a look at it before she says I'm
Yeah,
gonna do it.
of course, of course.
You know my take on this.
I know.
Guys,
You
at
want
this
100
point-
ghost faces. You want Nev Campbell dead.
No,
I know, bro.
No, not even that. It's not even the 100 Ghostface thing, even though that would be awesome.
I wouldn't.
I think they should go full sci-fi and just give us from what they do in the stab movies. Let's do Scream in space.
Nah.
I'm joking, guys. So here's what I think, and I've said this a million times. I think we're done with these legacy characters. We've acknowledged them. They don't really have a purpose at this point. Gail, spoiler, Dewey died, so Gail's next. Gail doesn't have a Dewey. That's it. She has no reason to live. They don't have kids or anything. Bye. And then at this point, it's just like, how long can you keep Sydney in these movies? I thought the whole purpose of the last movie was to kind of pass the torch.
Well, she did.
So
She did do that.
if you're passing the torch,
I
then
mean,
that's it.
who
You're
knows?
done.
Maybe she's like in one scene because she really wasn't in a lot of scenes in Scream.
Yeah, maybe
2022.
at this point have her do a cameo, but I find it very difficult to do a cameo when she plays such a big role. Like if she finds out there's a killing, she's gonna come back in town.
Yo, I'm gonna try to find a way to get her on this podcast. Nev Campbell,
Good luck with that.
I'm coming for you.
Good luck.
I need you to be in this podcast because I love you, but Tommy doesn't. So I want you to confront him and be like, "Yo, what's good?"
I'm willing to bet that she would agree and said, "I want my character."
If I'm just saying hypothetically, we don't know if this grows. If I'm able to bring Nev Campbell on this show, will you be saying the same things to her in her face?
Of course, I would say,
my
"Hey,
God.
I want Sydney to die. I think it's been enough. I think
All right.
Sydney has been tortured by living through all of these events.
Poor girl.
I'm surprised. You know what? No, don't die. Let's go with the twist of
Your
Sydney's
Ghostface?
fucking Ghostface. Sydney's Ghostface. She's like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of having to fight all these people. Now it's my turn to kill everybody.
That's funny. That'd be mad funny.
I would love it. I would totally love it.
No, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't have anything else, man, to share with you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram. Well, that's horrific. And on Twitter, that's horrific. 'Cause if you don't...
Well, that's horrific. Peace.
Peace.